Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Pensacola, Florida, it's time for Pensacola Business Radio. Now, here are your Business Radio X hosts.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Keith over here, broadcasting live from our Pensacola Business Radio studio here in downtown Pensacola. And we are, we're doing something a little different today. We are live streaming with Calvin's new toy here. He's got a Mevo, so this is going to be on our Pensacola Business Radio page. So good morning, Facebook world. Hopefully you can break away from the politic madness for 2 seconds and hang out with us. But this show today is sponsored by KONICA MINOLTA. I've got TJ here, and we're going to talk about the cybersecurity of things. That was a good title, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Very good. So I've got three experts around the table here. I'm going to let you all go around the horn and introduce yourselves.
Heather Reichman with TIG, Technology Integration Group.
TJ Edwards with KONICA MINOLTA.
Yeah.
Robbie Henson with Saltmarsh, Cleveland, and Gund.
Awesome. Well, thank you all for being here.
Good morning.
Hey.
So has everybody recovered from yesterday or last night?
Maybe a little more coffee.
Working on it?
Haven't gone to sleep yet. So.
It was a real nail biter, huh? Kept you up all night?
No, I was watching.
More than the Cubs winning the World Series?
No, I was watching rugby. I was watching rugby in Chicago.
Ah, there you go. All right, cool. All right, so let's get into this because I know a lot of people hear those words cybersecurity and they kind of freak out, but they also freak out so much sometimes that they shut down and realize that there are a couple simple things and just things that you can be aware of from the human side. But I know there's also some places within most company structures that they don't realize they're vulnerable in, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
So talk to me about what you all do and where you all see the stuff moving towards, whether it be financials and taxing and whether it be just protecting your data or even just moving into this cloud stuff and the networks and just how does it go? Jump in, anyone.
Well, I mean, cybersecurity is a risk for any business, obviously, that has internet. It's always open. Email gets compromised a lot. We do testing. At Saltmarsh, we do testing for ourselves, financial institutions, which includes email, social engineering, stuff like that. So a lot of times we always tell the clients that the biggest weakness are your people because they are the ones that have the outside access to the world. And they'll get the emails in. They'll get the information just asking for a password. And a lot of times people just trust what they get because they don't know where to look.
Right.
So part of it is just the training of it and stuff like that. The training is the best way. And of course, backups. If you have your backups, kind of doesn't matter what happens, but
it kind of does.
It kind of does, right?
As long as you have a good backup that you can restore from and that they're tested.
Okay. So what qualifies as a good backup?
I am actually the BDR specialist at TIG.
That's a real thing? Or you
that is a real thing. BDR, backup and disaster recovery. I work solely with Unitrends. They're a global company and anybody can do a backup. Okay, anybody. Any company that claims that they can back up, yes, they can. For cents on the dollar to AWS or to Google or, wherever you want to put it. It's the restore that is the most vital.
It's getting your data back that you've just given to everybody.
So a lot of these companies are, I hate to say this, ransomware companies because they're going to store your data in these,
the
data
cloud.
centers. Right. The cloud.
Clouds.
Clouds. And then you have a disaster. A flood, hurricane, human error, server crashes, whatever. And now you're like, okay, I need it back. Oh, now it's going to cost you this to get it back.
Yeah.
Whoa,
it's 3 cents for you to store it, but it's 1 million for you to get it back, right?
Get it back. Ha, ha, ha. Right. The man behind the curtain. So your backup is really important. Yeah. Also, most people don't think about other ways other than email or internet or your actual PCs on the way that people are getting into your businesses. For example, cameras or scanners.
That was the big one, wasn't it? That just happened, the camera?
Yeah. That was huge. A lot of people were upset they couldn't get to Netflix. Like, oh my God, what happened to Twitter? It died.
Right.
Everybody was freaking out.
I'm in the middle of a binge series and I need to get back on track, right?
Yes, exactly.
First world problems.
I complain on Twitter about it.
Exactly.
Right.
A lot of consumers.
Netflix is down, but I can't complain because Twitter's down.
Exactly.
What am I going to do?
That's awesome. Facebook didn't go down. No, I mean, just saying.
All right. But so, let's talk about that for a second because Well, no, I want to know, how do you do testing? Do you send like a couple phishing emails and see who bites, or you're like, hey, employee number 7, just, you know?
So what we do with our stuff is we go off of public knowledge, because a lot of times we already have relationships with these institutions.
Sure.
But a lot of times we want to make sure we're doing it as if we weren't that person. So we'll
Right.
go with public information we can find online. And then we pretty much just spoof emails as if we're either the IT person, a loan officer, president, something like that. Part of it we'll do on-site visits. When it comes to cybersecurity, we'll do email testing. We also do the penetration testing. The email testing will be like, all right, go here to download your loan reports for the month.
Mhm.
Well, people, they've never done loan reports before, but hey, now they have a report, so they're going to go do it. Or go here because your computer doesn't have updates. Or
Right.
log a new one we're doing is intranet. Log in here for the new intranet. Well, everyone's going to do something new, so they're going to log in to see what it is.
Right.
So.
Intranet. I didn't think that was a real thing for
It
so many
is.
years. Yeah. I was like,
Didn't have
whatever,
that.
dude. It's internet. You're pronouncing it wrong.
Didn't have
So-
that in the restaurant. Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I mean, they did, but back then I was
Wasn't part of your
worried about
knife.
the food costs and the chicken being cooked correctly. Salmonella wasn't like my biggest virus, right? So, but like TJ and I were talking the other day, like one of the things that I know KONICA MINOLTA moved towards was just like you said with the camera, but the copiers,
Yep.
right? I mean, you've got a whole network there
Yeah, we do.
that is completely vulnerable.
Yeah, it's an appliance in the office basically now because it connects to your network. And we have we have BizHub Secure that secures and locks down the copier now.
Yeah. So
So-
not even like getting into your network, but the documents I've scanned,
Yep.
right? And or the things I've made copies of.
Or receiving faxes or anything, any kind of piece of paper that goes through that machine, there's an image of that.
Yeah.
And we completely overwrite those images every single time you push the button.
Yeah.
We're the only ones that actually certified for Homeland Security. So we're putting
Yeah.
out.
You're hanging out with the big dogs.
Yeah. So I just put in probably 30 machines here on the Gulf Coast for different areas of Department of Homeland Security. Well,
Yeah.
our company did. And
Mhm.
so because of the security level our machines have, they passed all their tests,
Mhm.
testing you were talking about earlier.
Mhm.
They passed all those tests for the things that they're worried about people getting into the copier and how they can
Yeah.
do all those things. So
And real quick on copiers, one thing we've seen before is people will use copiers to email themselves scanned documents.
Yes.
And a lot of times it's sent unencrypted or it's just sent just right out over the internet and
Yep.
people don't realize that at times.
We just hooked up one that we had handed down, and it came with its own. You have your own email address to email all your stuff to print, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
yeah, that's safe.
oh yeah.
You and 10 other people have that
Mhm.
address.
Yeah,
Exactly. So, okay. So, how do you have you had this copier discussion with some of your clients? I mean, do people even realize that this is possible?
Go ahead. We do with a lot of our medical clients. We definitely do HIPAA
Yeah.
requirements and stuff like that. You're
Yeah.
sending patient information.
Sure, but
can't
they're
do-
privy to it. I'm talking like the average everyday,
3-person
Every
law
day
firm
we
or-
try to.
yeah.
We try to keep it internal if we can. Otherwise, we'll do our best to authenticate it. Some services, we're a little tougher with that, but recently a lot of them are going to Office 365, which make it real simple to authenticate your emails that you send out and stuff like that.
Sure.
So they have a little more security on them.
Something also is that Office 365, Microsoft does not back up that data.
Mhm.
So, Trends.
could you imagine if it did? How much that would take?
They don't.
That's a lot.
They don't back up, but they have a pretty good retention on stuff you delete. So I
well,
mean, there's there still
only-
should be your safeguards behind
right,
it.
but when you delete it, it's only 14 days. So there's things that are put in place where you can, Trends just came out recently with their backup, and they actually back it up to the Azure platform, which is Microsoft. So it stays compliant
In
and all
one
that kind of
place.
stuff. Right,
And they don't hold it for ransom when you want it
no,
back?
and it's like dollars. It's not even expensive.
Yeah.
But that's just something also to think about is that, our email, I mean, how many emails do you have filed and stored? I mean, I have hundreds of
It gets
thousands.
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
Right,
ridiculous.
because you need a record of everything, right?
Right. Well, you do.
So you print it out.
Especially for
So
compliance.
you print it out, yeah.
Well-
Yeah, exactly.
We're not killing the rainforest here.
You can grow a tree
Recycle
in
paper.
7 years and make paper. So it's a renewable
Yeah.
resource and you're providing jobs. Okay.
And let's face it, honestly, it's not going away, right? But even on the non-paper side, if you're going to take some of that stuff and make it digital,
Mm-hmm.
your copiers do that kind of stuff too. But all of this Internet of Things, right? We are today broadcasting live through this camera here, but my understanding is that somebody that was smart enough, fast enough, could totally hack in and take that
Completely.
thing over, right?
Sure.
So
At home, you see
Exciting.
reports on news lately about people's home, like their nursery cameras being
Yeah.
hacked.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
That's terrifying.
yeah,
It is.
and there's
A
security
lot of
cameras,
security
and stuff.
cameras at home and not changing your home router password and stuff like that. It's happens.
I
all
mean,
the time.
we had a local school district here that had a denial of service attack run against it.
Yeah.
And it was insane. I mean, when you're the backbone of that network and you're making sure that all these schools are able to test and these kids are able to learn and through their technology with their Chromebooks and everything else that education has gone to, and that just stops.
Yeah, my daughter came home with a Chromebook this year, and I was like, what is that? But yeah, full on.
Yeah, some of the cooler things are all the STEM programs in the high schools now, around all the technologies and the 3D printing and the graphic arts, and it's going to be amazing. As we become grandparents, we're going to be like our grandparents.
Yeah, I'm still over the learning curve with my kids, which is cool. Now that I figured out Snapchat, I'm still ahead of the learning curve. Like, they are still asking me legitimate questions on how to work stuff, so that's good. But okay, so let's talk about some of when you guys go and you do on-site risk assessments.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So where's the first place you head?
Well,
to TJ's to the copier machine, right? Let's make sure, right?
Usually the wire, if you're talking about physical, it's the wire closet.
Yeah.
It's amazing what a cobweb that thing is.
Usually.
Yeah. And, that's usually where people can have all kinds of different people walk in and just plug something in.
Yeah.
Plug in, type.
You had to have access to. Yeah. So I know the other building I was in DeVillers, our IT room was wide open.
Yep.
There wasn't even a doorknob on it.
Yeah. There's been many lawyers and different CPAs I've been here in town. And it's just, it used to be a water closet or something. You just open the door and
it's right next to your filing cabinet. It's just right there in the open.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, you talk about filing cabinets is a big push for us is getting all that data off the paper. So it doesn't get stolen.
Well, then that's what I was saying is even though the trees are there, but but the conversion rate has got to be huge, right? Because we've been using paper for so long.
Well, it's hard to analyze data on paper.
Yeah.
So you got to get it off the paper into a system, into a cloud system or whatever, to where you can analyze it, use some type of analytical tool. And that's one of the big things that they were doing with the news, CNN, ABC, and everybody, was they were analyzing elections from the 60s. And they did that by scanning in all those different voting and different things so they can analyze that data to actually make.
I wonder how much that helped them yesterday.
I don't know, but it's kind of interesting to hear how they did that conversion, and that's where our robots come in again.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So tell me about the robots, dude, because this is cool.
Well, the document robot is really cool. It actually sits in the middle of a room in front of a conveyor belt. And all you got to do is have somebody put the boxes on the conveyor belt. The robot actually takes the lid off, pulls the paper out, pulls the paper clips, the rubber bands, and then puts the paper into a scanner, a high-end Kodak scanner, scans it all to whatever cloud system you're going to do or whatever.
Under a secure connection.
Wherever you want it to go. And then it takes the paper and puts it in a shredder.
No way.
Yeah.
It's so
it's
George.
Rosie from the Jetsons.
Yeah, it's so George Jetson.
It kind of looks more like the robots that you see that build the cars, with the big arm and everything.
Yeah.
But it's less than $10 an hour, and it runs 24/7. No workman's comp, no insurance, no unemployment.
And you just call and
all those FICA
set it up for the day.
I remember my daughter asking me, "Who is FICA?" When she got her first check. It was really funny. So
I love it.
I don't know who this Social Security guy is, but I am so tired of paying him money. Right.
So this guy, the robot doesn't have all that. Yeah, it runs 24/7. So as long as you're feeding it those boxes, it'll run.
That's crazy.
And
so you just come and you guys come set it up, or is it like a permanent
we send the
thing?
boxes to it.
Okay.
Yeah, we have one on the East Coast, one on the West Coast.
Wow.
So we send a truck to pick up your secure truck. It's got insurance and everything on it. Take all your boxes there, and it just runs and runs and runs. We set up all the security and stuff with your IT folks.
Yeah.
Where you want to scan it to.
Very.
So
cool.
That's a huge backfile conversion thing, right?
Yeah.
So. Escambia County Schools is a good example.
Yeah.
We haven't done anything with them, but I'm just thinking they got 40,000 students. Santa Rosa County's got 30,000, 29,000, whatever. So, they don't scan anything from once the kid reaches 7 years out of school, they get rid of the file.
Yeah.
But now they're going back and running analytics on all those schools and stuff, the kids from the 70s. They got to get all that data in. They still have all that data. They even have data from all the kids from the 30s and 40s.
Wow.
How are they going to get all that in?
Yeah.
Well, to hire a company like us, we do that as well. We'll send people in. If you don't want to, like in a high-end bank or something like that, we'll actually come into your vault, bring the equipment in and do it by hand.
And do it there, yeah.
A lot more expensive.
Right.
Sure.
But
I can see,
like
people keeping it private.
Scanning that back file in and getting all that back file conversion is a growing business for us really fast.
What do you guys do? Because I know as a CPA firm, and I know you guys also, you do wealth management, all kinds of other stuff, but there is tons of data.
Tons of data, tons of paper too, and we're actually making a push now. It's been a while, but we're finally making the push to try to go paperless. We're introducing some software up.
Have you met TJ?
My favorite word. We're trying to go paperless.
Well, there's already something in place. Sorry, TJ, but
No.
there's the push for it. Some of that is for during tax season. People will be there from 5 a.m. until midnight.
Yeah,
even past then.
Yeah.
Right.
Our alarm goes off all the time in the tax season because people are there when their alarms are set. So part of it is to kind of balance the work home environment where they can work from home. If stuff's paperless, they can work from home and stuff like that. So audit side, IT side, we're kind of there. But as far as security, we have retention policies too. We have an area where we have to store a lot of those documents for now. And it's part of the process. We're working on it, but we'll get there along with everybody else.
So do you guys notice the trend going from, it's funny that I just said trend, no pun intended.
Sure.
Really, it wasn't, but kind of getting away from those things, going to more of the hybrid AI like Cyberlance and Sophos, where, the viruses are coming in and they don't see them as a, like Trend, McAfee, those things, they're built on that platform of this is what we know, this is a virus, quarantine this.
Right.
Whereas you move to Cylance and Sophos and it's more of, hey, this pattern looks kind of weird. We're going to stick it over here.
Yeah.
And you judge whether or not you want it. Do you guys incorporate that kind of stuff, or how do you guys do it?
Well, we used to be Sophos based. And then it's a whole other topic, but we've kind of changed to a more of a single platform for managed services for all of our clients.
Okay.
Internally, we do Bitdefender and stuff like that. So we're kind of in that area where we're looking at trends and stuff like that. We just kind of we rely more on training and security of our hardware and hardening our network for our stuff.
So are you mostly virtualized with your clients then? Are they on the VDI platform or?
Well, not all of them. Some of them are. Some of them are small to where they can't afford it. It's 5 people in an office and we have to deal with what they have. So that's on the
which is
IT
like the
side.
Commodore 64 and the old tube monitors, right?
They have CRTs, exactly. CRTs and a server that one server we actually just put out was 12 years old, and they worked on that for a long time.
How did they get 12 years out of that server?
Surprising.
Wow.
And sometimes it happens.
I bet you guys see some just some Warzone stuff. Of, it's like me going to look at vintage cars, right?
I actually ran a customer there. He's still running an analog copier.
Wow.
We stopped making those in like 2001.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
You remember the old Ditto machines? Used to crank?
They're still out there.
Yeah.
Has anybody been into
I don't
Tech
know,
Advance lately? I mean, that printer that they print out the receipts on.
Oh, yeah.
From like the 1960s.
Yes,
the
it's
dot
got
matrix.
Yes.
it's got
I'm
the
like,
wheels. You
sorry.
got to feed it in.
We have clients that still have to use
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people still have dot matrix.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. I was like,
The scroll the paper up.
yes.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Actually, it's funny you said that. I was in there not too long ago. I had to get some kind of cord for one of our digital things here. And it was the only place that had it. And the thing, not only was the printer so old, but the paper was yellow, right? Because it had been around for that long.
Oh my gosh.
So when you say, you guys want to educate the people and you want to train the people, and I know you guys are sitting there looking at patterns, right? And you've got a whole team of IT people who understand this language and all of that, as well as both of y'all. But for the at home end consumer, like what the hell's a pattern? Like, what's it going to look like? Like, can I trust the McAfees and the Nortons that consume all of my RAM?
You should probably go to a web-based platform instead of an agent. But, I mean, even Trend has an, open source that is web-based now instead of taking up so much space on your hardware. And, there's a lot of things that you can do to protect yourself. Don't store passwords in Google Chrome.
Oh, shoot.
Anyway.
They're all there, dude.
Don't write it down on your computer desk next to your monitor, Mom.
Yeah. Why not store them in Google Chrome? Because if it gets hacked, then you're done, right?
Right. I mean,
it stores your account too, your Google Chrome account. If you log on any computer into Google Chrome, your passwords are there. So that password's compromised. All your other ones are there.
Right. So delete those.
So I've got some work to do when we get done here.
Another thing is that, people stop making your passwords so easy.
Yeah.
There's got to be uppercase, lowercase.
Yeah. I like the whole
numbers.
phrase approach. Phrase with a couple different, things in it so that,
ampersand, exclamation point.
Yeah.
I mean, something.
Yeah.
You really got to, like,
The
password
number
1 is
threes
out.
for
Stop
E's
using
and things
that.
like that. Yeah. Okay.
Those are just some of the simple things
I use
to watch
Klingon.
out for.
Do you use Klingon? do you speak that fluently?
I type it.
You type it.
You can read it. You can't speak it.
I use keyboard patterns.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thing.
Define a keyboard pattern?
Like going an angle up in an angle to the left or to the
Okay, I
right
gotcha.
on the keyboard.
Yeah. All right. That's an easier way to remember it.
Yeah.
And
And
I just
move-
click
it keeps
save and
moving.
put it in Google Chrome.
So you just keep moving across the keyboard.
I am guilty of that as well.
Seriously,
I mean,
because
like-
I've got 5,000
I
of them, and the
know.
last time I wrote them all down, I lost the book.
Oh, God.
And I was like, oh man, I
use
was
a
forgetting.
password saver on your phone.
There's a
Yeah.
great, actually, Ellen has a great video. I don't know if you've seen it about password saving. It's a book to write all your passwords in. And there's an actual infomercial. And then she said, well, we've got a more secure thing. And it's just like a little lockbox. It's actually pretty funny.
You know,
the
it's
diary book. Yeah.
Exactly.
Somebody said it yesterday. The more advanced we get, the more I can't remember the word. It was Jim from Gilmore Services, but he was like, the more advanced we get, the more primitive we get at the same time, right? Because everybody has a camera.
Relax.
Well, we relax, but everybody has a camera on their computer. So what do? They put a piece of tape over
Sticky
it,
over
it.
right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody's got passwords to store. What do? They buy a journal, right?
Mhm.
To write it all down. And so,
Or a password protected spreadsheet. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, that makes
If
sense.
they protect the
So, well, let's talk about what can you do to close the loop in my home or my business network? What can we do to minimize, aside from just not, sending Jordan Valley Prince $1 million for him to, be your new savior, but what can you do to sort of close that loop and really make sure that you're secure?
In your home, lock down your wireless. Absolutely. Do not, you won't believe, in my neighborhood alone, I run by and it's like, oh, you're connected to so-and-so's wireless. What?
Yeah.
Lock it down.
Yeah.
People do not
Yeah, because then you can
share.
get to their IP address, which
Yes.
has all of their info on it, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
No.
IP addresses at home are a little different because they pretty much change pretty,
Right.
pretty often. But a lot of times I've seen it to where people will connect someone else's wireless and use it to download stuff. They'll get their
Mhm.
bandwidth notifications that they've downloaded all these
Mhm.
movies and like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So
Mhm.
secure it, don't use wizards when you set up your wireless at home
Right.
because those don't do everything. I know it's a little intimidating at times, but don't use wizards. Change the password on the actual device. Have a secure wireless connection to connect to and stuff like that. Business wise, someone asked me that one time. They said, "What's the best way to secure my network?" And I just told them, pretty much unplug your internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not a valid solution, obviously, because you need internet. But
Right.
do regular testing. Get someone to do penetration testing on your network. Updates on your hardware, your servers, your
Mhm.
computers. Make sure you don't have any Windows XP in there, which some people still do.
Yeah.
Server 2003.
Or 2003
Crazy.
or Vista.
I've got a computer in storage that I haven't fired up yet, and it still has XP,
I'm
and
sure.
it's been in storage for almost 2 years now. I'm sure when I fire it up, it's going to just...
So go back to the testing again. You say get somebody to test your network. Should you pay to have that done so you get a better report, or should you trust the people that do? Hey, let me scan your network for free.
Well, most of them aren't going to actually do it for free until you pay for the report itself.
Get
So
the pop-ups on your computer all the time. Free
Yeah, don't-
scan.
don't-
Don't
Yeah.
ever.
Don't do that. We don't do
No.
those?
Yeah.
Don't do
No.
that. Don't do that.
So my mom actually got hit with that.
Oh, yeah.
This is Microsoft. Your computer has been,
Call.
Yeah, call this number.
and she called that number and paid them money.
Mm.
Why would you not call me?
I don't know, but I don't think with the industry that you work in, you should be telling people about that.
Well, I got her money back.
Good
There's
for
quite a
you.
few companies here in
It was-
town, though. I quote unquote, I'm doing the rabbit ears thing. But there are IT companies that do a lot of those free scans.
Some of them will for a entry level area to try and pick
Get
up
your business.
And So
Right.
they'll do it as a courtesy thing at first, but it's not going to be a constant thing. If someone will do it for free, do it for free. It's
But make sure
Is-
they're reputable.
I was going to say, is there a
Actually,
risk
I
with
don't
do
just
that?
go ask.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. There is, I mean, there should be some risk documents that go along with that free scan, right? That
Well, if
explains
it's a free
who's
scan,
the
they
liability.
could scan it whenever they wanted to, anyways, as long as they know your IP.
But if you
address.
open yourself up to a free scan and there's no documents there and they crash your network, you have no recourse.
No,
to
you
it,
have no
right?
recourse.
you don't, but you're open
Right.
to it already, anyways.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing stopping them from doing it right now if they wanted to.
right.
If they got your IP address, they could do it anyways.
Mhm.
So it doesn't really matter if you tell them yes or no. You could scan whoever you wanted to if you know their IP address.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move into how do you protect that? Right? I mean, you don't give out your IP address, but everybody can kind of get it, right?
Well, a lot of it's public record. I mean,
Some of it can be.
you know, some of it can be public record.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and
you wonder why people are afraid.
There's a difference in being afraid, you know. I mean, if you're sitting in a closet, you know, in the dark with your ham radio and a sat phone, I mean, good for you.
Zombie apocalypse.
You're safe.
Right. But, and you don't have internet in your house, fantastic. But I mean, even my 92-year-old grandfather is like, don't leave me a voicemail, send me an email.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Text
like,
me.
it's just the
I'm
way
busy.
that it's going. And, you know, you can't, it's like you can't be afraid of technology. You know, you have to be smart about it.
Be smart about it.
You know, when you get a call from the IRS that they're going to repossess
Yeah,
your
and
house,
to go get 2 Target cards to pay them back.
Right,
Target
Like,
gift
that's
cards.
not-
Bitcoin.
true,
Bitcoin,
right,
yeah.
right.
Bitcoin.
You know, you can't be afraid of things.
Yeah.
You have to embrace the change because that's all there is, right? That's the only constant
That's
is
it.
change.
That's it.
But you also have to be smart.
Be smart,
And-
yes. One thing, especially for that home people, to always remember, you should never, ever be emailed and asked for your password. If someone
Right.
asks you
From
for that
anywhere.
from anywhere, if anybody asks you for that, it's likely not legit. Because that's never going to happen.
Mm-mm.
What if my printer emails me and asks me for my password?
Call TJ.
Yeah, somebody,
Call TJ, right?
Yeah.
Printers aren't supposed to do that?
yeah, they should not. No. Yeah, that's somebody spoofing you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're acting like they're your printer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't receive any emails on the copier. I mean, there's certain situations where we do for certain people receiving a lot of forms and things like that, insurance companies.
Right.
So you can email the document to the copier and it automatically prints it out.
Right.
Mhm.
So we have those very rare situations, but most of the time we lock down the receiving part of it. Don't open that up at all. They only can send. So,
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
but
pretty
getting,
cool.
you know, it's just all back to people that you were talking about earlier and the training.
Yeah.
Training.
And that's the thing is you hire these people and you give them a desk and a computer and you say, go to work.
Yeah.
But
You don't give them any social engineering for dealing with all
You've
this
got to
stuff.
educate these people and even the millennials and the kids coming straight out of college right now.
Yeah.
Even, you know, you think they're all smart and savvy, but my daughter just graduated and she's not that.
She didn't even know who
savvy.
FICO was.
No. Exactly. You know, so it's like, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, you just automatically assume because they're a kid
Mm-hmm.
and they're
And
on
they're in this
Facebook and
generation,
Twitter and they,
right.
you know, they're spending 3/4 of their time on the phone that they're
Aware.
tech savvy. They're
Yeah.
really not. There's a lot of them. They aren't learning those skills in college.
Yeah.
I mean, they take one computer class and it's relative to
Yeah.
our old typing days. You know, the typing class you took in 8th grade.
Yeah, God, I was
Right?
horrible at that.
Well, they're doing it again now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
My son's in
Right.
8th grade and he's taking a typing class,
Yeah.
you know, but it's on the computer.
Well, and, you know, it even went so far as, you know, my daughters who were just phone all day long, but, you know, they were doing videos and all this other stuff and actually being really creative with some things. But when I sat them down, I was like, you know, every time you video in this house and it goes out, people know what the house looks like.
Mhm.
They know what windows they could enter in. They know what's vulnerable. I said, every time you tell somebody that you're going out of town, I was like, all of these things that we used to, you know, hold our newspaper, hold the
Right,
mail, all
right.
these things that we used to do to make sure that nobody kind of really knew what was going on. All that stuff's out the window.
Mhm.
And they kind of looked at me and they were like, well, that's just dumb, Dad. And I was like, yeah, okay. Tell me how dumb it is when they come in and steal all your
Did
stuff.
she
Right.
crawl in bed with you that night?
No, she wasn't that
Scared the
scared.
hell out of her?
No, well, I did scare him a little bit. I really did. And I at least got them thinking, you know, so now when they're doing projects and stuff or they want to film, it's usually outside or they come here and we do stuff here in the studios. But yeah, a little bit of just waking them up that
Mhm.
much, you know?
We need to get, speaking of that, we need to get Chad Berry in from Department of Homeland Security right across the street
Mm-hmm.
here. He goes into schools and gives classes to kids and that on securing and locking down their phones.
Yeah.
And actually showing them, I mean, he'll take a kid's phone and break in their phone in like 10 seconds.
That's awesome.
And it scares the hell out of them.
Yep.
And
He
so,
needs to teach me how to do that.
Yeah.
So-
11111.
yeah. So, I mean, we got him coming into our Boy Scout troop next
Yeah.
month. You know, I'm going to talk to all the Boy Scouts and actually show them all the different things of security net because a lot of those kids, they trust, they're so trusting
Mhm.
of everything
Right.
and that. So that's another thing. And
Well, and they
home,
think
you're
everything
talking
in the world's a YouTube video, and it's all, you know,
Yeah.
life's
Make it
grand.
viral. And be
Yeah.
popular,
Yeah, I want to be famous.
Exactly.
Yeah,
there are smart criminals out there.
now, yeah, you think? You think?
I've
So-
seen Ocean's 11.
Yeah,
And
12 and 13. We're going for the trio here.
You also, in a business sense, make sure that the network is secured. That's your biggest thing. Have a great firewall in place. Have a
professional company doing it.
Right. Have a professional
My nephew
company.
does my network for me. Really?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's your nephew do? Oh, he's still in high school. He's in 10th grade. Really? Come on now. I mean, there's some smart kids out there. Don't get me wrong. There's some Bill Gates out there.
Exactly. But
Steve
have a
Jobs
reputable company,
Right.
come in and do it.
Yeah.
And have a trusted company. Look at their resources, look at their reputation, look at the reviews. It's really, really important. They're even in town. Oh my gosh, I can't even count the number of IT companies that are in this town.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Each one is
We
not
only care about
equal.
these three right here.
Right here. There's only one.
Go team. Go team. But and make sure that they have good engineers on staff. Make sure that they're certified. Make sure that they
The credentials,
have right. Check them out. It's just like you're interviewing them for a job,
Mhm.
and you don't necessarily want the mail carrier. Although I love the postal service, don't anybody email me. Stop it right now.
Don't go post on it.
Right.
Exactly. Look at this.
TJ brought jokes.
Just like TJ said, it's like you don't need your nephew
Yeah.
taking care of your computers.
Yeah.
Well, that's, for us, that everybody's saying paper's dying. We're going paperless and everything else. But because of the internet, because of the do not call list,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
All your big marketing companies, mortgage, insurance, car companies, they can't call you anymore because you're on the do not call list.
Right.
So how can they get to you? Well, then you turn around and you go, okay, I'm going to do constant contact or
Right.
Survey
But then
Monkey,
you
whatever.
just set it up and
and
spam
send
it
an
out,
email.
right? And
So then they block your spam,
Mm-hmm.
right? So those IT companies, we
Can't block the
their spam,
mail,
right?
can you?
Right.
Cannot block the mail. It's still going to go to the post office. The mailman will always deliver your mail. And so how do you get
The
those
spam
people?
carrier.
Yeah, it's a spam carrier, right? So how do you get those people to your website? You got to. We're doing it through mail, and the mail is becoming our on ramp now.
Yeah.
So mail is actually
See, the
Printing
more
of mail
advanced we
is
get, the more
actually-
primitive we act.
is actually growing.
Yeah.
Right? So we've gone reverse now, and print mail is actually growing.
Okay,
for
maybe
us.
they'll come out of bankruptcy.
I think Cedar just got a great idea. We can start paying the post office to block the spam ourselves, and then
Well,
we won't deliver
There
it.
you go.
Well,
saved
Amazon,
them.
Amazon did go away from UPS and now is using the United States Postal Service
Right.
to deliver all their stuff.
Yeah.
So,
On Sundays even.
yeah.
I know.
So, the post office finally woke up and said, hey, we're going to go bankrupt or we're going to change. And they
Right.
did.
Right.
And thank goodness to
Until the
Amazon.
drones move in.
Until the drones. moved. But who's going to manage and work on the drones?
You know.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. So, one thing I do want to highlight though, as much as we train the employees or you want to train the people, how much do we need to educate the business owners, right? Because some of the small business owners, even the big business owners, have no clue that their copier can be hacked, right? Or that the camera that just came in on so-and-so's phone can be hacked, right?
Mhm.
Or Johnny down in the basement's watching Netflix and now all of a sudden he's opened a portal to, get into the entire network.
The portal.
Yeah.
The
Most
aliens
hacks,
are
the
coming for
interwebs.
Keith.
it's just like, when, talking to Chad Berry over he mostly works with mostly kids, and they always say, when the kid's abducted, first people they go to is the parents.
Yeah.
Internal. It's usually someone internally has done something to that kid. It's the same thing in your business. I think 75-80% of the hacks that happen inside of businesses
It's because you piss somebody off.
it's somebody internal. You're not taking care of the employee, and they're wanting to get back at you before they leave.
Yeah.
And majority of those hacks are happening internally. So it's through education and putting the tools in place
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah.
That's which is very important.
Scary.
So that's a lower question. It's a totally different class for New Horizon.
That is a lower question, isn't
Yeah.
it? Because, and she said it too. I mean, New Horizons does, full online training and all that stuff, but that has been one of the things that they've had that they want to add to their courses is the
Ethics
cyber
training.
stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just
Ethics
like
training.
ethics and all that. But, you can train ethics all day long, but if you're not ethical, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. So,
Yep.
Right.
so this really starts with like mom and dad and like whipping the kids into shape and making sure that they're respectable
You're getting
adults.
into
and-
election stuff. Now.
Yeah,
Where did you come all the way around full circle? Didn't you? Started off
I'm
with
just
election.
saying.
Here we
I'm
go.
just
We're wrapping
saying.
up now.
Yeah, exactly. Mom and dad taught me right? So
Keith for president.
no, absolutely not.
Senator, maybe?
They still won't let me within like 500 feet of the White House. So,
Flamethrower you have on your bags.
yeah, well, it could come in handy.
It does. The
It does.
silence.
That's
There
it.
it is.
There it is. All right, we are
wrapping
getting
up. Yep.
we are getting to the end of time, so I want all you guys to go around the horn, give everybody contact information, websites, all that good stuff.
Okay. Heather Reichman, again, with Technology Integration Group, www.tig.com. 850-449-2608 gets you directly to me. We are solutions providers. So give us a call.
They have flamethrowers too.
Wow.
No, just my engineers,
Just
not me.
engineers, all
They,
right.
they don't let me around those kind of things.
See?
TJ Edwards with KONICA Minolta, 313-2412 is the cell, or you can get me on any of my handles for any of the social media at TJ Edwards 07.
Yeah. Now, this is one of the cool things I thought about TJ. TJ's main point of contact, if you want to find him, is Twitter.
Yep.
So what's your Twitter handle?
TJ Edwards 07.
There you go.
LinkedIn, TJ Edwards 07. Facebook, TJ Edwards 07.
You are branded, aren't you?
Yeah, he is. He is.
07 was my rugby.
But I thought, what a unique way to tell people to contact you, right? Because mine is either, call me or email me or at the least Facebook, right?
Yep.
TJ says, no, it's Twitter. You can
Twitter.
find me on Twitter.
Tweet me up.
Tweet them up.
Phone number's on there.
Okay, and Robbie Henson, it's Saltmarsh, www.saltmarshcpa.com. The number up there is 850-435-8300. We're here for IT needs or financial institution consulting, so there's a lot of it. Check the website
Auditing,
out.
taxes.
Yes,
all
lots
that.
of it.
There's a lot that comes out of that big building.
We're more of a business consulting firm now
Yeah.
than an accounting firm,
Yeah.
so we can pretty much do anything for anybody. So.
Yeah, which is really cool. So, I want to thank all three of you for being here. I want to thank all of our Facebook people for watching today. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much. You guys can find us at Pensacola Radio X on Twitter. You can find us at Pensacola BRX on Facebook, or you can find us on our website at pensacola.businessradiox.com. And this has been Pensacola Business Radio's The Cybersecurity of Things, brought to you by KONICA Minolta. Anything else? That's it. We're out of here.
Thank you.